Hello. This is a part 2 video. Someone mentioned about how it cycled in terms of how it pedalled, etc. in one of the comments, so I thought I'd make a part 2. Before I go into that, I've had the bike now for a bit longer and it's been good as gold. Great to go down to into the village, get my hair cut, etc. I've added this lock. It's by Kryptonite. If you go to Chain Reaction Cycles, which is a worldwide online bike shop, they're based in Ireland, I believe, but they sell all around the world: Canada, America, Australia, New Zealand, every other country, I think. Handy little lock that. Another thing I've noticed is the brake cables. Just the sheer length of them. They could really be cut down and shortened. They're far too long. So I think that's a little job I can do. If you're not comfortable doing it, your local bike shop can do it, but you can. There's plenty of YouTube videos on how to bleed these brakes. What you do is you cut them, and then you get a grommet that goes inside, or you can pull the old one out. And it's a fact of then tightening a nut up like an olive, and then you bleed it. You screw a little cap into here, like a little reservoir, and as you pump it, the reservoir drops down, then you push the oil out the bottom. But again, those videos are available online. In terms of how it cycles, I've got two bikes: a road bike, which I do I'm able to do some good miles on. I typically do like 80-mile sportives on it, and then I've got my downhill kind of enduro bike, uphill, that pedals very well, right up on the ridges and Wales, etc. So I'm not shy of riding big hills. This bike, it feels like when you're riding it, there is a kind of almost like there's a slight resistance somewhere. I don't know if it's the rear hub that just hasn't loosened up yet, but you know when you're riding along the flat, it just feels like maybe you're riding with flat tyres, and there's just that feel of a possible resistance. I don't know if that's the combination of the front dyno hub and the rear dyno and rear. You see, as I spin it there, you see how quickly the rear wheel stops. I stop the front, then you see how the pedals then spin. You generally get that impression when you're cycling that there's a bit of resistance somewhere, which I think you can feel it when you ride. So don't expect to be hitting any fast Strava times or fast times through the city. There is that feel of, I don't know, it's very hard for me to explain. I'm trying my best here, but I just can't put my finger on it. But otherwise it does pedal quite well. What I have done is move the saddle further back on the post, so I felt like I was sitting on top of the pedals too much. So it was further forward, meaning my legs were kind of sitting on top of the bottom bracket a bit more. By moving it back, I have noticed I came up through the village rather than first gear. I actually cycled up and found myself cycling in second gear. So if you're 6'2" like myself, or over 6 foot, try moving the saddle a bit further back in the clamp there, and you might find it just pedals that tad bit better. Other than that, I think it's a great bike, and if you're still thinking about buying one, just go for it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So yeah, any questions, just put them in the comments below, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them.